You know, I'm realized that Van Halen's career in the last 20 years has been a little odd and kind of laughable, even by hardcore fans. Are they with David Lee Roth, then Sammy Hagar, then Gary Sharon, then Sammy Hagar again, and then now David Lee Roth? And the current lineup, which essentially is the original lineup, with the exception of original bass player Michael Anthony, replaced by Eddie Van Halen's son Wolfgang, made an album a couple years ago and toured it. And this, Van Halen Live at Tokyo Dome, recorded last year in Tokyo, Japan. Um, a lot of reviews have been saying how David's vocals are just not up to par. Um, and here's the truth. David isn't able to sing as well as he did, if he could ever be credited with singing well, but he's not able certainly to hit the same notes that he hit, 30, almost 40 years ago. And anyone who expects a person to have lived the rock and roll lifestyle like these guys have had, to be able to recreate exactly how they were when they were 20, 21 years old, is just being unfair. So, as a Van Halen fan, how do I feel about this live album? We know that they released a live video way back in '86 with Sammy Hagar as a way to get that incarnation of the band promoted and going, and then in 1993 they released Live Right Here Right Now, which for my age group was sort of the penultimate live album. You know, way back when Kiss Alive 1, 2, and 3. Kiss Alive was sort of held up as the ultimate live record. And then maybe in the 80s, I don't even know who, maybe Pink Floyd's Delicate Sound of Thunder live recording from the mid-80s. That certainly is a very good live album. A bit overproduced if I gave an honest opinion about it. This isn't as good as Live Right Here Right Now. Their performances certainly aren't as good. Eddie and Alex and Wolfgang they're doing pretty good. It doesn't sound sloppy. It's on point. They sound like the same guitar solos that were originally recorded 1978 to 1983 with the albums that David Lee Roth recorded with Van Halen. Van Halen 1, 2, Women and Children First, 1984, Diver Down. Oh, I'm missing one. Oh, that's embarrassing. Fair Warning. That was rough. And I call myself a Van Halen fan. So there's tracks from all those albums as well as their most recent record recorded together, New Kind of Truth. It's good. There's 45,000 people in the Tokyo Dome listening to this, watching them perform, and they're really enjoying themselves. And I went and saw them perform in Toronto shortly before A New Kind of Truth was released. This was the first tour after the reformation, and I went nuts. I loved it. It was great. So what else can I say? I love Van Halen. I always have loved Van Halen. My favorite Van Halen record is actually a Van Hagar album. It's the For an Awful Carnal Knowledge record from 1990. But I do recognize that David Lee Roth era as a whole are definitely a better group of records than what they recorded with Sammy. There's a lot of tracks on this. It's 2 discs. I got the standalone release of Live rather than the 4-disc edition that was released on the same day. It was a little box set that had this and the newly remastered versions of Van Halen 1 and 2. Van Halen 1 and 1984, their first record and their last album from the original run with David, from 1978 and then 1983. Van Halen is going to be re-releasing remastered versions of the original studio recordings with David, and they've released Van Halen 1 and 1984 thus far, and they will be releasing 2 and Fair Warning and Women and Children First and Diver Down over the next year or so. The worst this can be accused of is that the recording quality does sound a little sloppy. It's not as crisp as I would like it to be, but it's a decent board mix, and it doesn't sound like there's been any overdubs done. There's a few little flubs here and there that they left in, and I say, good for you guys. You know, this is a representation of you performing live, and so give it to us. Give us the honest truth. And I can't hear, after only a few listens, mind you, but I can't hear any overdubs. So I think if you're a Van Halen fan, go get it if you haven't already. And if you are an occasional Van Halen fan, stop shitting on it. It's a good record. I'm sorry. I swore. Stop pooping on this record. It's good. There you go. Van Halen. Live, Tokyo Dome, in concert, out 2 weeks ago now today. If you're a Van Halen fan again, pick it up. So, go out, discover new music, or buy new music from bands that are still playing the same nuggets from almost 40 years ago. But don't stop listening to music, and don't stop appreciating bands just because they're getting a little long in the tooth. And don't stop appreciating bands or music just because it isn't cool anymore. You know who you are. If you like something, don't stop liking it because other people don't anymore. You stay true, man. You be cool. You stay true to your school. And now I'm just jamming on because I'm just enjoying running with the devil. So, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Does Van Halen version 4.0 is it just as good as it ever was, or is it time for them to hang up their hats? Leave your comments below. My name is Daryl. I've been your critic, and Van Halen, I like it. Keep doing it. Peace.